Hi, this is Russell Stunner from teachertrainingvideos.com. Going to make a video here where I show you various ideas that you could use for teaching English using Zoom. I'm going to try and make it a bit of fun and just open your mind up to a few possibilities that you could use Google Earth or Google Maps. I'm also going to show you that if your book has the interactive whiteboard software, or even if it has a PDF version, then you could use that in interaction as well. And I'm also going to point out that it is possible to have multiple students writing on the screen with Zoom, and if you change that setting, then you can have students all writing on the screen at the same time. I've been talking to a few friends of mine that are teachers and saying actually that works quite well. So just going to throw out one video with 4 or 5 different ideas that I really hope useful, generally for younger learners, but there's a couple of ideas here, particularly with Google Earth and with Google Maps, that you could definitely do with adults. And in fact, that's how I know about them, because someone has used them with me. So let's get into the video. Really hope you like it. As always, if you do, please like it, please share it with other teachers. I think it's really important to do that at the moment. Any comments, leave it in the section below, and if you really want to keep up with my work, come and follow me on teachertrainingvideos.com. sign up to the newsletter. You keep up with all the blogs and the webinars and the online courses, etc. Or you could also join me on my YouTube channel. Let's get started. I was trying to think of types of activities that might get the students involved. I was thinking about the idea of perhaps using Google Earth. Now again, I'm suggesting something that yes, I have done, but really in very small classes. If we come to Google Earth, and we'll just click here on the search, and what I'm going to write in here is, in fact I've already done it, let's just click on Big Ben London, and that is going to bring me specifically to that place. Now what we could do is do an activity, for example, where the students might do a little bit of research on a particular place, and then they could take it in turns to present that place. Now they could be working in 2s or 3s as well, so obviously 2 or 3 students can have their microphones on and speaking at the same place, so they could then be talking a little bit about the particular monument that they've chosen, and maybe describe some of the things around. So I could say, right, okay, so Big Ben is situated by the River Thames, and it's next to the Houses of Parliament, and it's famous because of the bell that's inside, and if you look around you'll see there's lots of famous places very nearby. For example, this is Parliament Square, etc. So you could then get your students to do simple presentations that they could prepare in advance. You could give them 5 or 10 minutes in the lesson. You could put them into breakout rooms. I've got a video on how to put students into breakout rooms in preparation for this, and then bring them back to the main lesson. You do need a fairly good internet connection to do this. There could be easier ways of doing this. I'm going to show you another technology, but the way that this technology works is really nice. You just simply click here, choose a place. Okay, we was looking at Versailles, and it will just fly you off to that particular place, and then you have got a few navigation options once you've done that as well. You click on these buttons here to come in closer, okay, and you've then also got either a 2D view or a 3D view, and the 3D view is lovely because it normally moves you around. Again, see someone presenting this, they would need the preparation time, and obviously it would depend on their level how detailed that presentation could be, but I just think this could be a lot of fun. Students just would need to open up Google Earth. Now the one thing that you will need to do if you're going to do that is to teach students how to screen share, because what would probably be the activity is that you would model this and show students a place and talk about it, and then you would say, right everyone, you know, you might put them into their breakout rooms, or they may have prepared this for homework, would then pass control to one of the students, who would then do the screen share and share Google Earth and go off to visit a place. Now actually, in all honesty, Google Earth has a load of other tools that could be really interesting. Okay, I'm on Zoom. You can see me, huge, great screen here. I'm going to roll over that here. I'm going to screen share, and I want you to see that I've got my interactive whiteboard software here. Now, if I click on that interactive whiteboard software to share it, and also click on share computer sound, and then click on share, that opens that interactive whiteboard software onto the screen. And if I now, for example, clicked on any of the tools, or let's first of all go to a particular unit. So let's say I went to a unit of the book and opened it up onto the screen. In theory, I could now click on the pen, for example, and start to draw around the trousers and the boots, etc. Now, what I could also do, though, is pass control. Now, by coming up to here, I can actually pass control. I need to go back onto the mouse. Pass control to another student so that he or she can do exactly the same. And I'm going to show you this live. I'm actually going to do this now. I'm going to show you how I can pass control and another student can just start writing on the screen. As soon as you pass control, they will have control over everything. So they'll be able to move through the pages, and they will be able to draw on the screen. If they want to clear the screen, they have to click on that button there, and then now whatever interactive whiteboard software you've got, this should happen, because all you're doing is passing control of your mouse to the student, and then they control the software. So we're actually in the lesson now, and you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on screen capture. Notice I choose the sound. That's really important to make sure that they can hear the sound from the interactive whiteboard. Click on interactive whiteboard. Now I'm screen sharing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass control to one of the students so that they can operate the screen. So I click on a student's name, and now that student can now operate the interactive whiteboard as if they were me, and they can come over and they're just going to click on some of the tools and just test it. And that student is now clicking and is going to start writing on the screen. So you can see how easy it is for a student simply to write on the screen. And they've got any controls now. They can go to a different page, they can play sounds, they can drag and drop things, they can, what they're going to do now is actually just clean the screen. So you can see how simple it is to pass control to one of the students. Now, that one important thing is at the end, tell the student to click back on the mouse. That's really important, because you need to click back on the mouse so that I can, and they're just going to do that now, click on the mouse, and now I take control back, and I come to the screen here and I click on it and click on abort control, and I take control back as the teacher. If I come over to settings here, if we look at this window here, notice you've got enable the remote control of all applicants. Now I believe that if you've got that set, that will actually allow all of the students to be able to access the remote control automatically. It would allow everyone to be able to note on the screen. So with that in mind, if you were then to come back and click on screen share and share your whiteboard and say open your whiteboard onto the screen, and what I've done here is I've drawn 4 squares and then I've numbered them. Probably best to put the number into the same place. I'm just going to click back here and move that number over. Should be able to do that, move it there. Okay, then in theory you could ask one student to write in this window and then another student to write in, let me just click on the tool, so someone could write here, someone could write here, someone could write here, and someone could be writing here, because you can actually therefore have all 4 students working at the same time. And then once you've done that, you can always come down to here and open up another page. I think that's going to just give you a second page. So now you've got a first page and a second page. So it is actually possible, and you'd have to experiment a little bit with this. And I haven't done many classes with young learners working with this tool. So this is really something that I'm just suggesting and that other teachers have told me. But it is possible to have various people actually all working on the screen at the same time. So just keep that in mind. That may be something you might want to look at. Now I'm going to show you a further idea that I think might be quite interesting in terms of bringing in other technologies that could make perhaps the lesson interesting, perhaps make use of the audio, and I'm going to suggest something. Now, something else that could be interesting, again, you could turn this into a speaking activity, is if we were to try to get the students to perhaps talk about places nearby where they live. Now, this is not going to happen in every country, but a lot of the roads have been mapped by Google Maps. I'm just going to give you an example. I'm going to click on screen share, and I'm going to go this time not to Google Earth, but to Google Maps. And if I just click up, I think I've got it already on the screen. I was just playing around with it. I'm just going to share that screen. Just going to come out of that a minute. So let me just click on that to come out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Brighton Pavilion. Okay, so I'm going to click here. Hopefully it's going to bring me over to the Brighton Pavilion. And then I'm going to just drop my man onto the street. And now I've got the Brighton Pavilion in front of me, and now I could kind of do a little bit of a presentation about when this was built and what's inside and why I like it and when I went here for the first time, etc. So this sort of thing could be a real possibility. It could be just a local beach, it could be somewhere in their town that they like visiting, it could be, and again what I'm suggesting is this might be the type of activity where you might demo first of all and show a place, and you have got a few controls here as well, so you can sort of come in closer to the picture as well. You don't forget you can even kind of move around the street as well, so you can kind of do that and then move around different angles. That is a possibility. When you want to come out, you just click on here. When you visit, say for example something like this, you may even find that then you could go to get another view of it. Let's see if I can perhaps drop myself here on the road. Let's just see. Looks like I may possibly can. So again, I may get another view of Brighton Pavilion depending on where it drops me. I think that's gonna work if I just come around here. Again, I can see the pavilion, but I'm not sure how far I can go here. I'm probably at the maximum. But that could be again a nice way of getting the students to choose a local, in fact it is coming in, a local monument or a local or just somewhere they visited, or a place that they've gone to, or a place that they would like to go to. Could even be talking about where they were born or something like that. And then again, you doing a model example and then possibly getting the students to do the same. All of these activities would work well in breakout rooms as well. So if you were to move the students into breakout rooms, then it would be possible to get the students then to be working in small groups of 3 or 4 and showing a particular place to their group and talking about it. Again, an activity like this would always need a bit of preparation. Okay, I really hope that video was useful. I did obviously show you a few things where you need quite a fast internet connection, like working with Google Earth. Google Maps should be easier to work with, and then what I tried to do was just show you some of the things around the interactive whiteboard. If you've got the interactive whiteboard software, or if you've got PDFs of the book, then that can be a really powerful way of working. And I also pointed out to you that you can actually use you can have multiple students drawing on the screen or interacting with the screen. That is possible. You might have problems with control doing that. It's definitely worth experimenting with. And don't forget these ideas as well. You know, you could have opened up a PowerPoint slide onto the screen. You could have opened up a picture onto the screen. You could have opened up some kind of worksheet onto the screen and got the students to interact with that. That would all work as well with this idea of a noting on the screen. And just to say a big thank you to Universal English and my friend over there, Keith Byrne, who's doing some great work using Zoom and using Edmodo together. When I did this video, I really wanted to chat to some teachers and find out what they're really doing. And Keith does classes where he's working with Zoom and working with Edmodo. And so some of the ideas come from him. Thank you very much, Keith. And I really hope that video was useful to everyone. And I'll be putting out some more videos soon as well. Thank you.